The initial brief was to design and deliver the 7th floor, which consists of a 25-seat preview theatre, 2 conference spaces, a cafe bar and a restaurant with some private dining and meeting facilities. It then grew from there. We started getting involved with other works on other floors, and the project as a whole we were involved with for it was about 8 months from sort of start to finish. But we find that we're still here now, tweaking various bits and pieces, as it was never really fully understood how some of the spaces would be used until they were used. This project was constructed for office use, so the theatre in particular presented some obstacles, structural being one of them. There were certainly going to be some noise issues. So we had to work very closely with the main contractors and the structural engineers, and subsequently with a third party to ensure that the relevant soundproofing could be achieved. Again, on budget, you know, there wasn't huge sums of money for that, because no contingency had really been allowed for it. So that in itself was a challenge, I suppose. The bar is, again, it's a meeting place. It's a place where people come to talk and collaborate and do deals, and the brief really was to design an area that could be as flexible as possible. So we've got a number of spaces. We've got what they refer to as the snugs, which we're sat in one now, which are sort of 10-12 seater private rooms where people can have meetings, etc. You've got the main cafe bar area, which is open to all members, and then the restaurant area further along. There's a number of displays throughout that allow us to show content derived locally or from anywhere in the building via the main hub room on the 4th floor, and all of this is controlled using the Savant control system. We've also got some multi-zone audio in here that allows for different music to be played in different areas accordingly. We're a big advocate of Savant. We like the way it works. The UI is incredibly easy to use, and because these spaces are essentially public spaces, they're going to be used by lots of different people with varying technical abilities. So the last thing we wanted to do was present them with a control interface that was difficult or complicated to use. Savant have done an awful lot of work in the development of their UI, so it was a simple choice for us to make, was to implement a Savant system throughout the 7th floor. The 6th floor was never originally it wasn't part of our remit, but it became evident as the project was moving forward. There was a priority for the 7th floor to be completed, and the 6th floor had yet to be designed. The project team knew what the concept was, but an operator hadn't been appointed, and there had been input from various consultants and organisations on how the space should work. So we were then asked if we would look at designing a solution that would meet all of those requirements. The 6th floor consists of 3 interactive media labs. The scope for their use is quite wide. Our original brief was that they would be used potentially by gaming companies that wanted to test new games, companies developing EPGs on set-top boxes, etc., and they would want to test the usability of those. Mobile games app manufacturers and designers, broadcast television program makers, etc. So a pretty wide spectrum of potential users. In addition to that, there is a 10 booth lab, which essentially has 10 seated positions whereby people can play or test media and be recorded at the same time. And the solution we found in the end was to use the Metas ingest servers to do all of the recording and management of the recorded footage. Getting the infrastructure right was key, because that was a significant part of the budget. As the rest of the site sits on a HD SDI infrastructure, it made sense to deploy that on the 6th floor also. And then HDMI endpoints could be changed using simple converters quickly and easily, and if at any point devices needed to be swapped out at either end, again that could be done quickly and easily. But it's been very well received. You know, on the grand opening night, we received some very positive praise from the directors, and from what we understand, people that are using the space on a daily basis have been very impressed.